Fuck, that was funny though when you said discomfort in and around your mouth because I was trying to hold it together. And I almost laughed and I'm like in my head, and then I heard Zach go, and then I just fucking lost. I just like, oh my god, that was so goddamn funny. Oh fuck. Slight discomfort in and around my mouth for 10 minutes. Been there. Hello and welcome to another episode of 7 Days Makes 1 Week. My name is Freddie P, back in the place to be, an hour and a half late because I'm a fucking degenerate and I don't set alarms on my phone. Immediately to my right is Big Dan Zaretsky, Big Doinks only, and behind the ones or twos, gangs, keeping everything on track, dotting the T's, crossing the I's is producer Zach. What?
Dotting the T's and crossing the I's?
Yeah. That's the funny way of saying it.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's why I laughed. So you're the one that's like, what?
It's like the Ricky way of saying it. You know what I mean? To be honest, I say that so often I didn't realize that's what I said. I was like, what? That's just part of like my vernacular. I say it like that every time now, and no one ever says anything. Fuck. If I hadn't have been late today, I was gonna start the show with the hip hop lyric, "Get the fuck up." Simon Says, "Get the fuck up." Do you guys know Pharaoh Monch's "Get the fuck up"?
Yes, sir.
I mean, if you put it on your computer right now, Zach, which I don't think we're gonna get a copyright strike.
We're not monetized.
Yeah,
so
people
we're not
have to
losing
listen to you for that. Just YouTube Pharaoh Monch's "Get the fuck," or Simon Says.
Okay, I'll do my best. I'm just.
Or whatever. I'll put it on my phone.
I'm just.
I just want you to hear the beat at the very beginning.
I'm just uploading that other clip and it drags down my freaking.
The Godzilla thing.
Simon Says, "Get the fuck up."
The music, Pharaoh Monch.
Yes, sir.
Pharaoh, like Egyptian Pharaoh, or Pharrell, like skateboard?
Pharaoh, like, I'm not 100% sure how to spell it, but Pharaohe.
Yeah.
But I have it right here.
Okay, you gotta go for it.
Great intro to a song.
Get the fuck up. Get the fuck up. Some of the things that he says on that song are like, Simon Says, "Rub on your titties." That's right, I said it. Rub on your titties. Andrew Santino was on Joe Rogan, like, I don't know, last week, yesterday, I don't even fucking know. I listen to so many podcasts on these goddamn drives. But that samples from the original Godzilla. That horn sound right at the beginning. And Andrew Santino was talking about it. He knows DJ Premier, and DJ Premier knows Pharaoh Monch or whatever, so he reached out to him, was like, "Hey man, like, I walk out to that song for my stand-up shows. Do you think he'd be cool with me using it in, like, my special?" And he's like, "I don't know, man, I'll reach out to him." I guess he linked the two of them. He was like, "Dude, I love stand-up comedy. You can use any of my music, but you can't use that one." And he's like, "Well," he's like, "I don't own the right to that sample." He's like, "This shit was the 90s, dude. We didn't know about sampling and shit. Like, that's from Godzilla." You gotta track down some director from, like, the 1930 Godzilla. Like, I don't even know who owns that shit. He's like, "I don't own it, so you can't use it." So he had to go find a completely different song. Fucking sampling. Samples are so cool in hip-hop, though. I think it's so dope. I get it that it's kind of like stealing someone else's work. Like, I understand that a little bit.
Depends how you sample. It all depends how you sample.
Fucking cool. Yeah, man.
Like, the way, if you chop up a beat properly, it is 1,000% its own thing. Like, it's the same thing as playing different notes, like, in a different order on a guitar. That's the same thing. You're sampling the guitar sound and just in different order. So if you chop up a beat in different orders, you're just sampling, like, by sampling it, you're making your own song out of those sounds, which is the same thing as making any other song. You're putting sounds together in a certain way to create a song. That's what it is. Sampling, if you sample, like, loops, that's different. But if you sample, like, slices, like, you're cutting, like, notes, hi-hats, kick drums, like a split second, like, certain synth sound or something, if you're cutting all those out and then rearranging stuff, like Daft Punk style, or even some of the Wu-Tang songs, like, that's a whole lot more, like, using those sounds to make your own song than just, like, sampling a loop. If you're sampling a loop, it gets a little dicey with, like...
Like P. Diddy's that's just the way, or I'll be missing you, to the police, like, it's the same fucking song.
Yeah, exactly. Like,
It's the same fucking song.
But even then, if you remake it with your own instruments,
I mean, Sting performed it with Diddy at the MTV. Like, he was clearly cool with the guy using it. I'm sure he paid him or whatever.
he must have, because when what's his face? Guy that just overdosed 3 years ago.
Mac Miller?
Maybe 2 years ago.
Is he a rapper?
Yes.
Juice WRLD?
Yes, Juice WRLD. Juice WRLD used "Shape of My Heart" as a sample, right, for his arguably
That's
biggest
a song by the Police? Or Sting?
Sting.
Or,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah. Is it no, it's not the Police. It's,
Well, whatever. Sting just...
I think it's
Sting is the
yeah.
Police of the band that Sting was with.
Yeah, Sting is. I think "Shape of the Heart"
right?
is just on Sting's solo career.
Okay, yeah.
But that was like the sample for like Juice WRLD's arguably biggest hit, and like that was not
What?
not
Lucid
Gucci
Dreams,
with him.
right?
Yeah,
that's what
exactly.
it's
Yeah,
called. I don't
exactly.
really listen to Juice WRLD. But...
Yeah, he
He's
made really
one
good
of the,
music.
the
Good
newer
freestyler
people
too.
that a lot of people tell me, like, nah, you should actually probably check him out. I don't know.
His lyricism was on point, and like, yeah, check
what
out his
people-
freestyles. If you really
People
want to get
know
a
I like
good
lyrics,
grip of the
so-
guy, check out any of his freestyles. That really shows who he was and like how that guy thinks.
Yeah, TJ of feature or previous feature fame, he's like a huge Eminem fan. Like, me and this guy would debate Eminem all
stan?
the time at work. No. One of his buddies is a stan, and like, I worked with him, his buddy, at Radiant, and if he was here, I don't even think he'd really be upset with me, like, jokingly calling him a stan. That fucking guy loves Eminem. One day, a dude wore an Eminem t-shirt to work, and he's like, you know the hidden meanings in that shirt, like the symbolisms and shit? And the guy was like, no. And he's like, oh, this is from this album, this is a lyric from this. It's like, yo, dude, chill. But they're like super into Eminem, so they'd always send me posts that are like, Eminem's the only artist with 50 songs that have been over 100 million radio views. I'm like, yeah, you know he owns the station, right?
Shade 45.
Yeah, like, he owns the radio. No, I get it, but like, I looked through the list and some of them are like, fact. And I'm like, okay, no, that song does not deserve 100 million radio views. If Eminem didn't own the radio station, Power 107 in New York, and any, like, no one's playing, like, Stan, Lose Yourself, The Way I Am. Yeah, okay, fuck 100 million views, whatever. I get it. Some of these things, it's like, yeah, dog, you own a radio station. No shit.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what you get for owning the radio station. That's on you.
Or
but
just having been around that long. I mean, if your song's been out for 10 or 20 years,
Oh,
for you to have
but-
100 million streams is a lot.
I bet LL Cool J's Sirius satellite streams went up as soon as Rock the Bells came out. And that even if
time.
that gets you 2 extra plays a day, that's 600 a year, 700 a year.
It's not about the plays, right? It's about the outreach, right?
Well, no,
It's,
but that's what gets them these plaques. It's like the
for
RA
radio play,
certified
100%.
or whatever.
But if
Yeah.
the more that song you play, the more you're putting it in someone's head, and then hopefully they'll stream it from their own platform. That's how you
programming.
really get those.
Programming,
Yeah, that's how you really get those
programming.
plays. Because like
I
radio
always
plays
tell
is one
people, like-
thing, but like streams, because that's what the algorithms go off of for the people that you need to actually reach, right? That's what pops up on their screens. So
I always tell people, like, I worked in that industry very quickly. I'm not by any means an expert. I don't. My knowledge is very, very small. But like, they call radio programming for a reason.
Yeah.
Like, they're telling you the music to like.
Yeah.
It's up to you if you want to, like, you know, conform to it, I guess. But even the most fucking Slayer, fucking reigning god dude, if you put him in fucking Saskatoon on a fucking site at a fucking millwright for fucking a year, and all these guys listen to his Kissing Country, after a year, that guy's gonna start humming some fucking country songs.
Yep.
Like, they'll program you to like that shit.
Yep.
If you just, like, let it seep into your brain
it's a
long
business.
enough.
I mean, radio isn't a charity. It's a
Oh, fuck
business.
no.
They get paid. They're usually parts of groups, which then get paid. or
Conglomerates.
Get
Media.
handouts, right? It's like,
Media
here, we'll give you all
conglomerate.
these free tickets to our tours to give
Yeah.
away, so you draw in viewership, so you can sell ads if you promote these and these songs, right? The world's evil. Nothing that you see every single day or anything that you experience any single day is by chance or random. Almost everything is targeting you somehow, whether it's your phone, the things you see on your drive to work in terms of ads, the stuff you listen to, the stuff other people talk about. It's all just ads and propaganda, essentially, that's trickled down one way or another.
It's funny how you say, like, nothing that you see is real or whatever. You know, in our, like, Instagram group chat, it's so funny. Now we have so many members, like, on
Oh,
those
yeah, they're
drives.
just sending us Din's
Dude,
board.
by the
Din's
time
board.
oh fuck, Din's deadly bored, man. This guy never posts anything in our group. Maybe one every, like, week,
Yeah.
4 or 5
Now
days.
he's like me at 3 a.m. just fucking
3 or
video
4
after
a day,
video.
yeah. You can tell when people are at work and when people aren't. But by the time I finished that like 14-hour drive that day, I got to the hotel and it's just like I fucking watched Instagram Reels for like 8 minutes. Like I had so many to watch. But the one video in there of like Vince McMahon blowing out his legs. Did you watch that one today?
Yeah, the wrestling one. Yeah.
So there's like this wrestling thing where it's the Royal Rumble. For anybody that doesn't know, the Royal Rumble is an event where you got to be the last guy in the ring, and it comes down to Dave Bautista, who's now an actor, and John Cena. And Dave Bautista picks his. I even remember this from
No,
when I
John
used to
Cena
watch
picked up
wrestling. No,
Batista.
Batista picks up John Cena to do a power bomb. And then they fall back over the ring. Trust me, John Cena's the one that's being picked up. I'm like
Okay, no,
90% sure. He goes to pick him up, and then they both fall over the top rope of the ring, and then they hit the ground. And apparently that part wasn't supposed to happen. Like, they weren't both supposed to fall to the ground, and no one knew what they were supposed to do. So they just started, like, killing time in the ring. And then Vince McMahon comes into the ring, and he goes to jump into it, and both of his thighs hit the side of the ring, and you can see him in the ring. He tries to get up and gets like a foot off the ground and just collapses and just sits like this with his back against the ropes in the ring yelling at people. And it comes out that when he went to slide into the ring, he fucking tore
out both of his,
blew out both of his quads,
Yeah.
so he had like no legs underneath him. But then I was just reading the comments, and all these people are like, yeah, no, nothing happens in wrestling that isn't scripted. And all these people are like, no, man, I swear to God, that's what was supposed to happen. And all these people are like, hold on. Vince McMahon came out like 45 seconds after that happened. Did you think he was just standing there waiting to walk down this ring? And everyone's like, yeah. The TV where all the people, he's like, you don't watch behind the scenes wrestling? There's a TV right there where all these people, and I'm like, no, man. Then I was just sitting there. I love reading the comments on shit because I'm a nerd, but it was just like, I genuinely was thinking, I wonder if that was real or not. I don't know. Usually you can kind of tell bullshit, but that time I wasn't really sure. Are you looking it up?
So who'd you say was lifting who?
Batista.
Yeah, Batista lifted who?
John Cena.
Yeah.
Told you, bro.
No, I just wanted to see him.
fucking got
I
this,
just want
dog.
to see McMahon blow out his quads again. Destroyed. But yeah, I seen that like
And,
a couple
honestly,
years ago.
It doesn't, old but gold. It doesn't
Yeah.
look like anything happens. Like, it's not like he fucking smashes his leg. Like, you can see that they get hit.
Yeah.
But I was reading in the comments, apparently he had been out of the scene. Like, no one had seen him on screen in the company for months. So a bunch of people thought he might have had, like, some injury or some surgery or something that, like, they kept on the low. But everyone was like, yeah, it was just inactivity. Like, the guy just didn't do anything for 6 months and tried to, like, run and jump into something, being a 60-year-old man or whatever. But
Yeah, he just hits like just above his knee on the edge of the ring.
yeah, and it's
Or-
wild that he does both in.
Well, that's when you get old, or especially when you don't move that much for 6 months, and then all of a sudden,
You know?
it's like when a rubber band's been chilling for years, and all of a sudden you try to stretch that shit, it just goes ping.
Even me personally, man, even like the 6 months that I'll take off before soccer seasons, take off like I'm some sort of fucking professional. The time that I'm not playing soccer, the off season, man, that first game, bruh, one, your cardio is just shit. And two, your legs are so fucking sore the next day, it's unbearable. And you're like, man, I didn't even do that much. Like, I didn't even do anything that excruciating. Last week we talked about peanut butter cookies, though, so I got my mom to bake some.
Oh, nice. Some fentanyl cookies. Let's go. North side.
You're gonna have to explain that one time.
That's north side, dog.
We're just north side, so he's just saying we're
Fentanyl.
ghetto and there's fentanyl in there.
Thanks.
Let us know what you think about that Zacky Wacky, seeing as you're pretty much the reason these things got made. They're fucking good, right?
Pop up peanut butter taste.
They're so fucking good.
Best cookies, in my opinion, are peanut butter cookies, and these are very, very good. There's a
That's
guy.
why we made them, because you said they were your favorite. I was like, dude, my mom makes the best peanut butter
Well,
cookies.
tell your mom I'm very appreciative. These are
They're so
fire.
fucking good, right?
Yeah, fire.
I love them. She was like, no, I got some time. I'm going to bake some stuff. I was like, peanut butter cookies. She's like, no, I was thinking chocolate. I was like, no, peanut butter cookies. Oh,
They're very
I'm
delicious.
sure everybody wanted to hear us eat there for 30 seconds. I tried to fill that space, but whatever.
Thank you, Mom, for me.
I will. I'll thank you for both of you guys. Does the sound of people eating bother you guys?
Yes.
I'm one of those people too. It's like
Like when it's dead silent. If there's other noise around it, I can focus on the other noise.
yeah.
But yeah, if it's like a dead silent family dinner in a silent like dinner like area, I can't, man, bro. I go insane listening to people eat, bro. I'm like, I'm ready to punch somebody.
Straight up, man. Me too. Like I've literally been like, dude, shut your fucking mouth, man. Like when you're eating, close your god. I have two friends. One of them, like the first time I was like, bro, like I'm sorry. This is like a thing for me. Can you please like eat less quietly? And he was, or more quietly. And he was like, yeah, for sure. And then another one of my friends, we were out somewhere. There was like 3 or 4 of us, and it was just, man, I think I was just having a day because it was just fucking like festering inside me. I just turned to him and I was like, dude, like close your goddamn lips, man. Like you do not need to chew with your fucking mouth open and be that fucking loud. And the 2 other people at the table were like, dude, thank you. Like they looked at him, they were like, man. We're like 25 at the time. Like, come on, bro. The thing that bothers me the most is on PlayStation. Like when I got my headset on,
Someone's
and I'm like,
crunching chips or
dude,
something, dog. I'm like,
if you're
bro.
eating, man, mute the fucking microphone. Like,
Yeah.
it's literally in my ears. And then the one, not the one guy that kind of took it nicely when I said it to him. It's my friend Nathan. He sent me a thing like years later, and apparently it's like almost like arachnophobia. Like not a fear,
Yeah.
but it's like there's some people where he's like, man, I thought you were just being like, sometimes I can be a fucking asshole. Dan knows. Sometimes I can be an asshole. And he's like, I thought you were just being fucking asshole Fred, like having a bad day. And he's like,
No, that's
this is
just- that's
actually
an
a thing. I was
actual
like, yeah,
thing,
dude, like it literally infuriates me. Like my switch isn't that quick. Like I got a temper, but not that wild. Like I'm a pretty reasonable person. If you're it's like, dude, we can
We're
fight
throwing
right
hands.
now.
Yeah.
Like, we can fight right fucking now. I don't give a fuck if we're friends for 20 years. We can settle this shit right now. It's like, dude, settle what? Sitting here eating. I'm like, yeah, exactly.
Our mutual friend and Dan knows him too, Francesco, is pretty bad for the schmacking.
Oh.
Like when he's like, you're like, and I look at him all the time like this. He's like, sorry. I'm like, if you're sorry, don't do it in the first place. Then I'm like, that's
Don't
my...
be sorry, be better.
Yeah, I was like, oh wait, I sound like my dad. But no, we had to share hotel rooms when before Corona, and then after when they started being cheap again.
Yeah.
Be eating candy in bed on opposite beds, obviously, because we're not snuggling together.
Spooning, don't
Maybe
lie, but whatever.
maybe that's why I was so close quarters. That's why I could hear it better. But no, eating like a Laffy Taffy. He's just like,
like the chewiest.
yeah, and I'm like, "Dog, can you not hear yourself? He's like, I don't know. But yeah,
You're not here.
it bugs me too. But yeah, it's not my favorite.
I fucking
I
hate
don't know.
it.
Teeth grinding is another thing that gets me fucking drives me up the wall, bro.
Like
If I'm
that.
trying to sleep and someone's literally
Oh.
grinding their teeth, dog.
You can hear it? You mean like
Mm.
teeth chattering? Like they're
Look,
cold?
No, when like
What?
you've never, bro. I don't know what women you've been with, but like
I've
a
never
lot of
heard
people,
that.
a lot of people clench at night and like grind their teeth.
I've heard
It's
like
bad. Like even my brother has done this. My mom does this. Katie
sleep
does this.
apnea. Like,
Yeah. When you stop
I've
breathing
heard
for
that.
a while.
Yeah, like where I'm like nudging them, like yo, and then you hear, and you're like,
Yeah.
how'd you not wake up? And they're
I
like,
do that.
Wake up what? I'm like, bruh.
I do that sometimes.
I literally was getting ready to drop kick you. You didn't
Yeah.
breathe in fucking 30 seconds.
Yeah, but yeah, like teeth grinding, bro, kills me, man. Like if I hear that sound, bro, that does not like that's like nails on a chalkboard, you know? Like I can hear that shit from 3 rooms away. It drives me nuts,
Yeah.
man.
I have like a mouth guard because I clench, but I don't think I grind.
Your dentist would tell you if you're grinding, because the clenching is like you can tell in the tenseness.
That's
of, like,
the thing I was
jaw
gonna
and
say.
stuff like that.
Doctor never told me I
locking
would
your jaw.
yawn, and it would like, the right side of my jaw would like pop in and out.
Yeah.
And then my girlfriend's best friend is like one of those people that makes mouth guards and fake teeth and shit, like a
Nice.
denturist or I don't know what the fuck they're called, but
Orthodontist, I think.
nah, they do braces. These are the people that if you had a tooth knocked out, they would make you the fake tooth and like
Yeah.
color it the right color, and they make like the mouthpieces for clenching and grinding and shit.
Yeah.
Anyway,
that
whatever
called?
it's
I know
called.
there's an actual term for that.
I
yeah.
told her that one day, and she was like, "Yeah, you just need this mouthpiece." And I've had that
Yeah.
mouthpiece for probably like a year and a half, 2 years, and it's like my jaw like doesn't happen anymore unless I don't wear that for like 3 or 4 days. Then it'll start happening again.
Yeah, and like that's just like the teeth grinding is just one step further. The clenching but then they also move their jaw. But you'll see, like, your dentist will tell you that you grind down your teeth essentially,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And that's the sound you're hearing. Like, it's awful, man. Like, it's like,
I believe it.
dog. When it drives me, I can't sleep. But if I hear that sound, bro, I legit, man. When I've gone on family vacations, and I'll walk all night through Miami with my headphones on, listening to music, because I literally cannot sleep in that fucking room. Like, I'll go try to lay on the fucking rooftop patio and try to sleep on a sunbathing bench rather than fucking be in that room, bro. I just want to kill people hearing that noise. That's straight torture. I said straight nails on a chalkboard, man. And just
Is it dental prosthetist?
probably.
Maybe.
All right, that's the closest I can find.
Yeah. Sounds about right. They make the prosthetics
Sounds
for
accurate, yeah.
dental hygiene and shit. So yeah, it sounds about right. What else you guys do this week? I just been fucking driving on roads all week, really.
I mean, just I guess work. Watch the
Your
the
YouTube
Zone
fights?
and Misfits crossover series number 4 on Saturday.
Are they all YouTubers?
The first fight was professional fighters. It was a professional boxer with like a 12-0 or 12-1 record, and the second one, like the other guy fighting him with Anthony Taylor or something like that. I think it's Anthony Taylor. I know he's like an actual MMA fighter, or like I think he was part of not UFC, what's the other one?
Bellator, Pride, yeah.
And yeah, I think he's boxed and stuff like that. He was
Strike
like
Force. I guess
think
there's a couple.
he was Paul's coach or something like that.
Oh, okay.
I know it would have been the first fight that night. But then the rest of them are all influencers, yeah.
So hold on, the influencers fight after the real boxers?
Yeah.
That's wild.
Well, it's a professional boxing card. The thing is, like, you gotta think, right? Like, no influencer who makes hundreds of thousands or millions of dollars a year is gonna fight no-name people. Like, if they're gonna go into this sphere, there has to be financial incentive for them.
No,
so
I
it
get
has
it.
to be professional fights, because if you're not a professional fighter, you have to fight with head guards on, and
Yeah,
nobody wants
headgear,
to
yeah.
see that, right?
Yeah.
So they have to be professional fights, and like they're trying to throw in a real professional fight to kind of show what like this is the level of real professional
Yeah,
fighting.
set a standard.
Yeah, so you kind of have something to look forward to. But none of those fights on that card were like bad. All of them were like good. There was nobody like cowering. Like there's people going all out. Like I've seen some influencer events in the past where like
One guy bit off
they
way
weren't-
more than he could
he
chew.
wasn't ready.
Yeah, he wasn't ready.
But no, this was a good one. There was a lot of knockouts or TKOs, right? And like I think 2 fights went to decision. The rest were actual knockouts. I think there was like 6 or 7 fights on that card that night. There was one female fight. Yeah, it was good. I really enjoyed it.
It just like it kind of makes, because like I hope to get him on one day. But one of my good friends that we grew up with, you know him as well, Paul.
Yeah.
He was a professional fighter, a
Yeah.
professional boxer for like I don't know. I'm gonna say 4 or 5 years. I really don't know, because a lot of his career was amateur, so I really don't know how long he was a professional. But I think he ended up ending his career like 8-1 or something like that, or 5-1 or something. He had like Western or like Canadian amateur or no Canadian knockout of the year. Like you can YouTube one of his knockouts if any of you Paul McKenzie knockout, and you can go fuck PMAC. But Ryan Ford was like decently big in MMA. Like he had fought in Bellator a couple times and whatever. Ryan Ford's a Edmonton professional boxer / mixed martial artist. For all of those who don't know, YouTube him. He's a beast. And then Paul and Ryan were fighting on the same fight card one night after Ryan had switched back into boxing. And Ryan was like, there was like I don't know, 6 fights on the card, we'll just say. And Paul was second last, if not last. And Ryan was like the 3rd or 4th fight. And like, Ryan's a much bigger celebrity. I don't think Paul would take any offense to that. And I said that to his dad. I was like, Ryan's fighting before Paul. And he was like, this ain't MMA. Like, guy hasn't had a boxing fight in like 10 years. Why the fuck would he be fighting before why would he be fighting after these guys? Because he's got more Instagram followers? Like,
Yeah.
So like the opposite, it's like those professional fighters like, yo, I'm fucking 23-2. Who the fuck is Sheckler P_21? Like, who the fuck is that guy?
Yeah, but
it's like, yeah, but that guy has 50 million followers and you have 2.
it's
whatever the
not. But
fuck.
like they're like, for example, since this is the influencer series, right? Like
Yeah.
So that's why like that's like a given in that sense.
Yeah.
But also There's like the last 3 fights of the night were title fights and stuff like that. So
They have
they're
titles in this shit.
Oh yeah, this is
Well,
a
of course
whole.
they do. I wouldn't
It's a
say,
whole
yeah.
series. Like it's a whole league, right? Like it's an actual thing. It's the Misfits Boxing crossover series with the Zone. And yeah, they have titles and belts and all that good shit. And like
Dazen. I didn't know it was the Zone for the longest time. I thought it was Dazen.
I thought it was just DAZN, and I thought it was like an acronym. So I was always trying to figure out what the D meant and the A meant and the Z meant. I'm like, what would Z possibly mean?
Sports, yeah, like zebras. Are we talking about the refs?
Yeah.
No, it was a good, good fight. It's 2 of KS, like the first people KSI fought on this series on card number 1, made a return on this fight card as well. They didn't fight KSI; they fought their own people, and they both redeemed themselves. So that was nice to see.
Either of you guys got TikTok?
Hell no.
I don't have TikTok either, but like Reels and YouTube Shorts are like
It's the same shit. You see
essentially the same
re-uploads.
thing, right? Yeah. So I get it because everyone tells me like TikTok's like the most fucking addicting thing ever. The other day I was just scrolling through YouTube Shorts. I must have watched like 100 fucking videos in a row. You have no idea where the time goes. That shit's fucking crazy. But one of them was just like some random like Russian. I'm assuming maybe he has something in box. I have no idea who this guy was, but he's literally like, "We're gonna go see if KSI wants to fight," or some dumb shit. And KSI was like walking out of his gym, like his training gym, to walk to his car, and this guy's like, "Yo, I heard you want to fight," and KSI was like, "Who are you?" And then the guy's like, "Oh, I heard you want to fight. I want to fight." And then like it was just super funny because KSI is like extremely massive security. We're like, "Yo, who are you trying to talk to?" He's like, him. He's like, "What?" Like he's just trying to understand the situation. You know what I mean? Like he didn't even get aggressive for the first like 30 seconds. He was just like, "What's going on?" He was like, "I'm talking to him. And then you seen the switch like go. He's like, no, but I'm talking to you. Like I'm talking to you, and I'm right fucking here. Don't worry about that guy over there. And it was just funny to see him like,
Well, and like
YouTube people do anything for clout. It was just weird.
100%. Those guys go out a lot. Like KSI and the Sidemen, they're all over the world, really. Like they travel all over Europe and the States and shit like that, and they're out in public all the time. With just like those couple of security guys, like those guys got to be.
You have to.
On
The
point.
one
Yeah,
guy,
they're 6'6".
the one guy was
or
a
taller.
tank dog.
Yeah.
The one guy that was kind of talking more of it, like I'm sure he knew what he was doing.
He's
you
probably
know
got
what
the
I mean?
gat. The other guys up there from
No,
muscle.
I think
and
they were
he's-
both professional fighters. To be honest with you, I think they were both professional boxers that were
Yeah.
just. Maybe they weren't even actually security. They looked like professional boxers that were just handling.
Nah,
the
he
situation.
doesn't go out. Like if he's in public, he's got security with him.
I'm just saying, like they had athletic bags. If they were security, they were there training and shit. Like they didn't look like they were like on the job, even if they might have been. You know
I'm
what
sure
I
that
mean?
man. I'm sure KSI's not carried a bag for himself. And
Well, apparently him and fucking Logan are gonna get $1 billion from Prime.
Oh, easily.
Man,
it's
I've-
already the 5th most sold hydration drink in the United States of America. Like, oh yeah.
I
but
read that they
that's-
don't even own it. They're just like the main. Like
No.
some other company owns it, and then they're just the main marketer, so they have a big share of the
Oh,
Are
company.
they like Dana White to the UFC? Like those two
I-
brothers owned it, and then they brought him in, then they eventually made.
They're
him
just
part
the
of it.
face of it. They don't have like majorities.
No, but these
share
guys
of it.
actually they're very involved with that company. There's
No,
like
for
there's
sure,
like
they're-
celebrity. No, but it's like celebrity liquors where like they're the face of that brand, but they really have no like input in that company. This isn't a company where there's two actually have input. Yes, they're obviously they're not gonna start up like. They're not going to build all these factories and all this shit. They're going to look for a partner in the industry that has all the resources and the facilities needed. They're going to partner with them and then do it, right? So obviously, if someone's manufacturing it and storing it and making sure it gets shipped, it's going to be under that name, right? But I'm sure they're either majority shareholders or they get like a really good royalty per like package sold or whatever.
I don't know nothing about it. I just remember when KSI was on Flagrant, he said that because he's a massive like Arsenal football club in London,
Yep.
and he went to Arsenal and like got a deal between Prime
Yeah,
and Arsenal.
he's the hydration sponsor for the whole team.
Yeah, like they.
Yeah.
I was like, yo, that's when I was like, okay, these guys aren't fucking around.
No, man. KSI's like business portfolio and property portfolio is retarded, man. I mean, they have like him and the Sidemen have a vodka. They have
Him and who? Sorry.
the Sidemen.
Oh,
like,
that's his crew.
That's
Yeah.
his crew, right? They have a vodka, so they have an alcohol. He's got Prime Hydration, which also release energy drinks now and drink mixes, like so like that's already
powdered
like
shit.
going crazy. Yeah. They own Sides, which is like a ghost kitchen essentially in like the UK and Dubai and a bunch of other European locations, I believe.
Ghost. Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, so
Ghost
it's
Kitchens
like
are
Mr.
trippy.
Beast Burger.
I was just gonna say it's like Mr. Beast Burger.
Yeah.
Which apparently are not very good, from what I've heard.
Well, it depends.
You can
I'm
order
sure-
one here.
Yeah,
Can you?
They're all ghost kitchens, right? So they just send you the correct material, or you order what you need based on what they require you to have, and then you're just in charge of quality control. So you could get one from a great place, or you get one from freaking Joe's RV in the back that he's
yeah. Depends
that
on
he's
who's
using-
cooking it.
cooking
I'm sure
meth
there's-
next
he's using Bunsen burners to cook the fucking. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I got the meth on this one, the burgers
That's
on this
right.
one.
So
yeah.
they're just in charge of getting you the product. You then have to prepare it and present it to them. But
Yeah.
you pay your franchise fee. The guy's making just a
Dumb bang.
shit ton of money. Like
Yeah.
I think he was on Flagrant 2. It might have been
Yeah.
that he was, but
Yeah,
it
he
might have been
was.
that, or maybe Lex Friedman's. He was on with Lex Friedman, and they scrolled through his YouTube channels, and it showed how much the monetization is, and there was like. He's got like 15 channels, right, for clips and all.
Yeah,
this
all the
other-
different
and they're all
languages.
making
All the
like
languages,
they're all
yeah.
and they're all making hundreds of thousands, if not millions of dollars in like ad share revenue and money. Like it's just the guy's just.
But he puts
He's-
it all like the guy puts it back into his business
For
the
sure,
brand,
for sure.
and the philanthropy section of it, right? Like the guy legitimately wants to do nice things for people. He's not just like, I'm gonna make this as big as I can, and then I'm gonna sell out and do this and that. The guy would literally probably bring his brand to a certain level, sell it, and then do another philanthropy section with that. You know, him selling the brand and doing another thing, right?
Well, on
Like,
Flagrant, he said
he turned down a bill for the thing.
well, he
essentially.
already said he knew what his last video was gonna be, and they were like, "Oh shit, what's it gonna be?" And he's gonna be like,
Last one to take their hand off my grave wins the channel.
"Gets the company, yeah, man. Last
sir.
one to take their hand off my tombstone gets the whole company."
Yeah.
Far off. I just said he was just gonna off himself.
Well, he's not gonna off himself. The guy's young, man. He's way younger than us, and like that guy is like, that guy can have anything. That guy's been in rooms with billionaires that, like, you know, those meetings where us regular folk always speculate about, like, you
Yeah,
know.
he had a pretty crazy thing though, like that again on like the Flagrant thing, just how him and all these YouTube like. He knows so much about the inside and the outside of YouTube that I think it was on Flagrant. It might have been on when he was on Joe Rogan.
Yeah, but he learned that. Like he didn't. Of course, nowadays he's got partners within YouTube that.
Oh no,
give
he
him
knows
full
so
access
much
to
about
it.
the algorithm where he's like, I can tell you.
Yeah.
I'm like,
He can
I'm
make any channel
paraphrasing this.
successful.
Oh no, he's like, I can make anything viral. I can turn around any channel. He's like, and I've literally done it. I just randomly picked one and made it a success. But he goes, if I look at your YouTube, and he goes, all I have to do is look at your subscriber count. What was it? Subscriber count, the length of your videos, and then I just have to ask you like. There was just one question. He's like, as soon as I ask you those 3 questions, I can tell you how much you're making every 2 weeks. He's like, I'll be within like $100 or $1,000 or something like that. And then Andrew was like, okay, and they don't say the numbers, but he's like, this is how much you guys charge per ad, and this is how much you make. And he was like looking at his buddy or whatever, and the guy's like yeah, that's pretty much spot on. Like the guy just. From what he said on Flagrant, they were like, "Okay, there's so much knowledge to learn. There's no way one person can learn all this knowledge." So him and like 8, 10, 20 people that wanted to be in the YouTube influencers all made like a Discord. So every day was like, "Hey Zach, you're gonna learn how to make thumbnails. Just how the fuck do we make the best thumbnails? What's the best time for retention? What's the best setting for the background?" And then I take that day and I figure everything out. You figure everything. Then we come at the end of the day and you go, "Okay, Zach? What did you learn? What did you learn? What did I learn?" And they have 20 people doing this, so they all just became like YouTube masters. What should have taken them 10 years to learn took them 6 months because they had 10 people learning at the same time.
Yeah, they spent like 2 or 3 years like religiously watching YouTube every single
Every
day.
day,
and
12
talking
hours
about
a
it,
day.
trying to figure out what's best, all trying different versions, like doing different things in their videos.
Trial and error.
To figure out what works and what doesn't, and then putting that winning combination together. And then he's just perfected that like the thing, the programming to the ever changing algorithm of YouTube, you know. And now that he's got all the inside knowledge he'll ever need, you know, that guy cannot miss. Like there's no way Mr.Beast can make a flop of a video. He knows.
I don't know enough.
knows
The
what to
only
do.
one I've ever actually watched was the that TV show.
Yeah, the Hunger
Squid
Games.
Game, thank you, Squid Game.
You didn't see the one where he did the chocolate factory?
No.
He built this. He
Willy
took
Wonka's chocolate
he took a warehouse and converted it into a functional chocolate factory with the chocolate river and everything, and then made like 10 people go through like a gauntlet of exercises, and the last person won. And then he's like, "Well, I know you don't really have the money for funds, so I'll buy it off you for $500,000."
Yeah.
So that he won the chocolate factory. That Mr. Beast bought it back off him and gave him $500K.
That's
Yeah,
usually
because
what they
that
do
guy's
with
like,
like
what
the
the fuck do I
island.
want a chocolate factory for? Yeah.
Well, not just that. People don't usually have the taxes to to pay for
Yeah.
this thing or to keep up.
He's
stuff.
like, there's already flies coming in. I don't think you want to keep this factory.
Yeah, exactly. And like he's
We're
crazy.
not really up to code.
I was surprised he's never seen more of his content. Even like
I
because
think
he's been making.
I think I've seen one or
crazy
two
viral
where
videos
it was
for
like
years.
like the last to take your hand off the Ferrari. I might have watched one or two
Private
of
jet.
those.
That's a good one. Last take your hand off the private jet. Huh? Any of the hide and seeks, or when they're like, over all the years, it's only ever gotten bigger. You know, from the biggest stadiums to just like abandoned schools or abandoned like compounds and everything else, and like or having a bounty hunter hunt him down and all this other shit. Like I don't know, he makes entertaining stuff, and like he's always, because he comes from a poorer part of the United States of America. He's always been about philanthropy. So like,
Where is he from?
North Carolina, I think.
Oh, okay.
So you know, not necessarily the most.
No, yeah, not like Houston or San Francisco.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of those places have real shitty, but like I heard somewhere that if San Francisco became its own country, it'd be like top 20 in the world for fucking money
Bay
or
Area.
something stupid. I can't remember
There's
what.
a lot
it
of money
was,
there,
but-
man. All of California. So the California itself, if the California state became a country, it would be ridiculous. The
And
GDP
same with
and shit.
Houston. Apparently, Houston, there's like it's like
That's
Alberta.
where all
like, there's
that's where all the
stupid
money went,
there,
right?
yeah.
That's where all the big companies have been going because there's no income tax and all this.
Yeah,
right?
exactly,
Like,
yeah.
you know.
No state tax. There's still federal
Yeah,
tax.
yeah, of
And
course
he's
it's still
from
federal tax.
he's from Wichita, Kansas.
Kansas, that's
Yeah,
what it is.
yeah.
Yeah,
So
that's middle America.
For sure. That's like
That's what they call the flyover states. Nobody cares about all those states in the middle, right?
Well, it's the breadbasket. That's what feeds America. They should care about those fucking states.
That's why
That's
when-
also where all the nukes were like stationed out of in like the '60s in the Cold War. There, all the missile silos were in the middle of America, in the middle of nowhere, fucking South Dakota, Colorado, fucking Arkansas, and all that crap.
That's why. Fuck. What was I just gonna say? That's why like so many politicians go to those states because like
yeah, it's really
if
easily
you look at
influenced.
like really, it's almost like in Canada they really only give a fuck about Ontario because of how like our government works
and
shit like
Quebec.
that.
Everyone seems to care a shit about Quebec.
Well, yeah, but Quebec, you always fight in the bloc,
The bloc Quebecois, yeah.
and that's a huge.
It's just like Alberta can be blue for like 10 years in a row, and like in the grant you need to win in Ontario to become the fucking political party in Canada.
You're talking about 10 years in a row. It was like 50 years in a row.
I'm just saying they could do no, because eventually the NDP and Liberals started like there was literal elections where the whole province was blue.
Yeah.
Not one riding went to any other fucking people. That's what I'm talking about. Like, you could do that for a whole province and still lose because of Ontario.
Easily, yeah.
In the States, it's different. Every state counts for 2 votes or some shit. It's something like
the
that.
Electoral college? No, it's not 2. It's depending on how many. Might be 2.
Yeah, because it's like if because
if you,
like
you don't have to
Idaho could have
influence-
like 1 million people, and California could have
Yeah.
30 million.
and
Their
they're
votes
equal-
still count the same.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
It
That's how
still
works down
counts
there.
for the same.
That's why they go to those states because they only have to influence
100
30 million people in total instead of 150 if they wanted to attack all.
To
these
win in
states.
California, you got to convince 30 million people. To win in Ohio, you got to convince 1.
You got, it's no convincing on California. It's gonna be blue, 100%.
But you know what I
blue
mean.
state. Yeah,
You know what I
Texas
mean.
is always gonna be a red state, but yeah.
But
There's
that's
the
why
swing states,
Florida,
Nevada, and shit
there's
like
certain
the
that
swing
become
states,
big
yeah.
states because that's the power move.
Yeah.
Because California's going to be blue, Texas is going to be red, blah 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 blah.
Yeah.
But then
Those are
there's
called
some
swing
states where it's
states.
like, yo, that's, and then like that's what makes like American politics. Well, one of the things that makes it so crazy because now it's like Kansas has more power than California.
Yeah.
And you're like the senator in Kansas, and you're walking around with fucking big dick energy, being like, "What are you gonna fucking do for my vote? Well, what are you?" And it's like, this is fucking wild. Like, it's fucking Ohio or
Yeah, but
Iowa or Kansas or.
at least those people get something. I mean, shit, they're stuck in.
But could you imagine if
Red
that was
Basket
Canada?
America with
If that
shit
was
education.
Canada, like the flip side of it, where it's like Alberta is kind of like Texas. I get where you get your big dick swinging energy because there's so much of like the capital and profit comes
money, a
out
lot
of that
GDP
place.
and shit comes from here. Yeah.
BC and Ontario, I get it. So much of the population that'd be like your California and New York. But could you imagine if it was like Saskatoon and Manitoba? We're like, no. We decide what happens in this country. The rest of the country would be like, buddy, get fucked.
But that's what Alberta's trying to do. I mean,
Or
we
like
only have 3 million
Newfoundland.
people,
Newfoundland's
but we
like
want
we
it
have
to be our way.
500,000 people, and Toronto's like that's cute, and they're like, no, our vote counts as much as your whole province, and they're like, wait, what? We have, I don't know, 15 million people in fucking Ontario. I have no idea, but I'm just gonna guess that.
Yeah.
You guys have what?
I thought you said 15 billion.
No, 15. Well, all of Canada has 30 million, right?
36, I think. Yeah.
So I'm just, I don't know, stupidly maybe half
Alberta,
lives in Ontario.
Yeah. Well,
Pretty close.
Pretty close.
Do you think
right?
you're under or over?
I think I'm slightly over.
By how much? You have one chance, and there's a decimal point in there.
Can I have a guess?
But yeah,
Of course you can.
Yeah.
Um,
no.
Yeah, no. I'm gonna say I was over by 750,000 people.
Okay.
So what? Are you saying it is half, or like what were you saying?
He's just saying I'm close.
I'm just saying if
I'm gonna
he
say
gave
there's like 14.8 million people in Ontario.
Fred's still closer even with the 750. It's 13.6. So not a bad guess.
So, damn near half.
Yeah,
So really, like,
about a third.
it
Actually,
kind of
closer
makes
to a
sense
third.
that. Oh yeah, I get closer to a
tripping,
third
dog?
than a half. Yeah.
Yeah,
36. The half of that's 18.
Oh, I still had 30 in my head.
that's
not
what I said. A
36.
third. 13.6.
I had
said
30.
half. What?
13 is pretty close to half of 30, dog. 15 is half of 30. I had 30 in my head, is what I keep saying, not 36.
So he was saying half of what his initial first guess was. He wasn't saying half of the actual population.
okay.
Yeah, I was saying if Canada had 30 million
tripping.
people and Ontario has 15, it kind of makes sense that they have a bigger role politically, or bigger say politically. I get both sides of the coin. There's no right answer where if you're in Kansas, you're like, well, no, fuck that. Like, we need a say too. We're fucking blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
But I just think in Canada, it'd be wild if Saskatoon or Saskatchewan was like, yeah, no, fuck BC and
So
fuck
the-
Ontario.
so-
We run this shit.
So if that makes sense to you, then why are Albertans always pissed off that it doesn't go their way if they represent about 10% of the entire population of the country? It's because they bring in the money, yeah.
Because
but
they bring in
that's-
the money, and then the big thing that a lot of people, specifically older than me, would say is that, like, there was times where Canada needed a bailout, and Ontario and Alberta was like, okay, fine, and shared their money with the whole country. And yet again, I'm not very political. I don't watch the news a lot. I'm sure I'm wrong, and I'm like very much so paraphrasing from memory here. There was some part where like there was a drought and there was no grain, and like farmers in Alberta were fucked, and they were like, yo, we've been helping y'all for years. We need help. And a bunch of the rest of the country was like, no, y'all are on your own. And everyone in Alberta was like, what the fuck? We've been pumping billions into the rest of this goddamn country, and now we're fucked up, and you guys were on our own? Okay. Wait 5 years when we get through this shit. We'll see who's on their fucking own. That's what a lot of, like, blue conservative people that I know, they're like, fuck that, man. They want to use all of our resources, and it's time for them to help us out, and we're not BC or Ontario, so get fucked. Fuck you. We'll keep our fucking money then. Wait, we're Ontario when your fucking highways are fucking crumbling and you got 15 million people and you're like, oh, we need money, and we're gonna be like, raise taxes, bitch. Like, like that's what I hear. And then again, I'm sure I'm wrong, and I'm sure it goes much deeper than that, and there's other sides to that. That's what I hear from like blue collar, blue conservative Alberta people. That's what I hear.
All right. That's all good. See, I'm just an immigrant who can't vote, so I'm just trying to, I can't influence anything here anyways, so I'm just trying to learn. See why you all be hating on each other like that. Why is it East versus West? I come from a country where there was East and West, and we united.
Literally, yeah, there was a wall.
Even Tupac and Biggie was East versus West, so I think it goes down just the
They
foundation.
were friends at times.
I know, but that was just.
They were friends at the time. That's why I fucked your bitch, you fat motherfucker. Like, god damn. It's like the wildest fucking diss track. There's like 2 diss tracks. Sorry, I'm gonna say 3 in hip hop history that I think are just like the wildest things.
Let me guess. Pusha T is one of them. The Drake
No,
one?
actually, I didn't even think about that. Okay, I gotta do my whole list again. Mine was gonna be Hail Mary, but not Tupac's. The Eminem, 50 Cent, and Busta Rhymes one against Ja Rule, and then Hit 'Em Up. That's Hit 'Em Up, right? That's why I fucked it. Yeah, that's not Hail Mary. Hit 'Em Up, and then Back to Back by Drake. Imagine being Meek Mill, dog. You get dissed, and literally 5 years later, you're in a club and the song comes on. That's the only diss song that gets played in the club and on radio. Like, you cannot get out of the way of that fucking song.
Oh, Back to Back was a great fucking song.
It was a great song, yeah.
Yeah, Back to Back. But like, what about?
You never heard Back to Back where he's dissing Meek Mill? Oh man, it's when he was. It's when he
That
was.
was like one of the biggest Drake songs of that year.
I'll add it to my Spotify and I'll
It's
listen
when he
to it
was.
after.
It's when he was with Nicki Minaj when Meek Mill was with Nicki Minaj? Is that your tour? Is that your tour or your girl's tour?
Yeah, exactly. Good. Man, there's so many great lines in that song. But what about fuck. No, what about
the
like
story of Adidon's got to be on there now.
yeah? What about Eazy-E and shit? You know, Eazy-E
Easy
drop.
does it.
Yeah.
No, real motherfucking G's.
Real motherfucking G's.
Where it says
yeah.
motherfuck Dre, motherfuck Snoop, motherfuck Death Row,
Row.
yelling, "Here comes my left." Yeah, that's a great
Here
song.
comes the left blow. Yeah, or No Vaseline by Ice Cube.
Yeah.
The reasons why I picked the ones that I picked, I think Hit 'Em Up was just like, it wasn't the first, but when I think of like a diss record and like how we just, that's why I fucked your bitch, you fat motherfucker. Beat didn't even come on yet. That's why I fucked your bitch, you fat motherfucker.
It's not like Eazy-E. It's like
Rah.
Dre Day was only Eazy's payday. You know, like
Yeah.
that's savage, dog. It doesn't matter what music you put out. I'm making a fucking dollar off of your shit. You can say all the bullshit you want about me
Yeah.
and my shit. I'm getting paid on that.
Every
so-
time NWA makes music, Easy makes money.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Anything Dre makes, not even NWA. He signed an exclusive producer deal with Dre. So anything Dre did whatsoever, even on a Death Row Records, Eazy-E was still getting a cut off that because he had like a certain amount of years of exclusive production
Oh, I
rights.
didn't even
Anything
know
Dr.
that.
Dre. Oh yeah, bro. Eazy is a savage, man. He's a
Dre got
businessman.
fucked like twice then because he didn't make any money off his Death Row shit either. Cause
I'm sure he made
didn't-
money. I'm sure Eazy-E didn't take all of it, but he was getting paid some of that money, like a certain percentage, and it was a good chunk. Like
Well,
Eazy-E was
but, I
always
mean, that
making
happened
money.
to him too again at Death Row. Because
Oh,
remember,
yeah.
even in the
Well, I
movie,
mean-
he's like, I don't give a fuck about my masters. I don't give a fuck about any. I'm just leaving to do my own
Yeah, but
thing.
on the Death Row Records, you're getting fucked. Well, no matter
Regardless,
what.
yeah, it's like signing the Cash Money. You're getting fucked.
Birdman getting his chunk.
Yeah, regardless, I don't give a fuck who you are. You're getting
But I
fucked.
mean, if you make Birdman rich,
Literally
he'll give you a
and
bag.
figuratively, if
He'll
you're
give
at
you a
Cash
bag.
Money.
If you make him rich, you'll still make sure you're rich. Like
To
he
an
gave
extent.
Nicki, Wayne, and Drake big fucking bags of money over the years.
Yeah, but Nicki Wayne and Drake would have had big bags regardless. What about Tyga? Tyga made that guy mad money. He had big hits. I'm sure he's broke as fuck.
Tiger's too busy fucking Chinese.
Yeah, no, Tyga's on OnlyFans apparently, and Tyga makes a lot of money on OnlyFans.
I heard that he was like the first male dude to hop on OnlyFans.
Well, the first probably most popular
I
one.
wonder
Yeah.
if he fucking shows the slong. I'm assuming
The
he
hot
does,
rod?
right? The fucking the Rack City.
the burnt. Never mind.
There's others that have been fucked at Cash Money. I just can't remember who any of them are off the top of my head.
I'm
but-
sure many fucking artists. Have
Or,
been
well,
fucked.
all of the Hot Boys.
Put some
minus-
respect on my name.
I was gonna say minus Wayne, but then Wayne even ended up getting fucked at the end. That's crazy. But then yeah, so Hit 'Em Up, and then I don't know, man. The story of Adidon have to be on there because that's like literally the only mark on Drake's whole career. His whole career, the only thing you can say is like, yeah, he didn't have shit to say to Pusha T.
And he also has girl hands, so you gotta say that's a negative too.
He has girl.
He's got feminine hands.
Drake?
Lots of people have said it. I'm not the only one.
I don't know. I don't.
So
care
that's-
about
I'm just saying
dogs.
that's-
I assume you're not the only one because you've never met the guy.
If you're gonna
That's-
start taking me apart from my hands, you got other like you know.
No, I'm
that's
just saying
like
that's two marks against his.
petty dog. Just because someone can be a hand model doesn't mean that they're fucking weak. Just means they wear the satin gloves when they come to gun you down, dog.
I think the fact that you were hiding a kid was a little bit more wild than having female hands.
Yeah.
That was a wild diss record though, because Drake was undefeated his whole career, and I mean, he, like lots.
There's
of
no
people,
coming back from that. Like what?
To
what
some
are you gonna
people,
dig
that's
up
what
on
I was
Pusha
just
T?
gonna say. Like to some people, there was no coming back from that, but there were so many people that like. They like even Andrew Schultz was like, "Who the fuck is Pusha T?" And then Charlemagne was like, "Yo, this guy's been in rap for like 20 years, man. Worked with the best producers. Worked part of the reason Pharrell would have been successful without the clips. Part of the reason Pharrell became who he was knowing Pusha T and his brother. They made their first music together. The clips and fucking NERD and shit like that. It's like this guy's a fucking legend in the game just because 12-year-old girls don't listen to his music and he raps about fucking cocaine all day and doesn't make club songs and radio songs. But that is Andrew Schultz is like, yeah, Drake wins. And Charlie's like, no, he didn't. And he's like, yeah, no. Drake wins.
Drake might win
It's
in
like,
a
dog,
clout
you didn't even listen.
in a clout battle, but like that don't mean nothing. Pusha T just makes enough money off of his records to hide his real money.
Yeah.
His real income. You gotta have enough money on paper to hide your real income, you know?
Fuck, that should have been one of my intros for a song. It's one of my favorite Pusha T lines. His brother was named Malice. His manager was named Tony. The Malice guy just one day had like an epiphany, and he's like, man, I'm tired of like the lifestyle that we have, just talking about guns and drugs, and he found religion. He became like a religious rapper.
Born again Christian or what?
Tony, the manager, got locked up as being the head of like a massive cocaine distributing ring, and they tried to link Pusha T with it, but all of the people held it down. They're like, nah, he's just a rapper, he's just a rapper, he's just a rapper, he's just a rapper. They all held it down for him, and the one lyric is, Malice found religion, Tony found prison, I'm still trying to find my way up out this fucking kitchen.
Water whipping that shit, you know, just cooking
like
up the baking soda.
Like the lyric that we've already mentioned on this podcast. If Pusha T thinks that I'm gonna wait fucking patiently 2, 3, 4, 5, 10 years at a time to hear him rap about fucking cocaine, he is absolutely right. I will wait as long as that motherfucker makes me wait to hear him rap about cocaine.
See, you and Pusha T have the same relationship as Burner and I, you know? As
Yeah.
long as that man's rapping about weed, I'm listening.
That's true, yeah.
Yeah.
The one day I actually got a big laugh at Dan's house. We were all just talking, like, Katie was there. I remember those two brothers were there.
Benson's, yeah.
The Bensons, yeah. And I was just like, Dan, who's your favorite rapper and why is it Burner? And that's not even a funny thing to say, but everyone just burst out laughing. It wasn't even that funny, but I just remember for some reason we were all pretty baked. But
all around, that guy, I think, is the most G. You know, he came from where he came from, where he ended up, what he's done with the industry, and what he's done for the culture. I just appreciate the guy all around. You know, he's a good, solid dude. You know, it's not just music. Like, there's so many aspects to that guy that I enjoy, and how successful he is, and what he's doing, and how he's approaching situations. I just look up to him. You know, he's an idol to me. So
yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely Dan's hero. And I don't even say that, like, mockingly.
Hey, man, if I could... If I
Man,
could
if
only
you could
replicate
achieve
his
half
success.
Of what that guy achieves, I'd say you're the fucking man.
It doesn't have to be money. If you just have that impact, you know, if you're able to change the culture for the better.
Yeah, I just meant like success. Yeah, even if you had even nearly even on the weed game.
Yeah, man. Nah, you know, I'm a good kid. I listen to the good influences in my life, so that'll never happen.
I try to. Sometimes shit happens, though, you know?
100%. It's all good. That's life.
You can eat that spicy chip one day?
I've eaten one of those before.
Oh, for real?
Yeah.
Was it wild?
Honestly, man, it's like... It's about 10 minutes of discomfort in your mouth area. And then a half hour... No, and then a half hour later, it was like discomfort in my stomach for like 20 to 30 minutes of just like not even like, not burning, not painful, just like...
Ache?
You felt it, no, you felt it rumbling. Like, you felt like
bubble guts?
demons were fighting in there, you know?
Yeah,
You're like,
yeah.
But honestly, the shit was
That's
like...
one of my favorite memes. The guy butt naked taking a shit. This guy had some demons.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, you know it's a wild shit when you're sitting on the toilet butt naked. You battling demons, fam. You are fucking in the trenches.
But no, honestly, even like the shit after wasn't like bad. Like that didn't really like. I didn't feel
Nico
it
was
there.
gonna eat it one day, but then he didn't want to do it, and I don't think I'm gonna do it.
I would never eat it as well.
No,
I like hot sauce up to a certain point, but I know that would make me incredibly uncomfortable, and that's I hate
The
food.
problem is I couldn't sit here and eat it. We need to move the camera. I need to eat it by the sink just in case. Like just for water. And like I get a gag reflex. I had a gag like twice where I gagged, but I didn't throw up or nothing like that. But it's just like it's so spicy. Your body just like it's trying to defend itself, right? It's trying to protect you. It's like this shit is better out than in. So
Well, there's similar colored looking chips as that one, so we could always just get a small bag of that, put that one, mix it up, and then play Russian roulette.
guy trying to play Russian roulette with the chips. Fuck, that was funny though when you said discomfort in around your mouth because I was trying to hold it together and I almost laughed and I'm like in my head and then I heard Zach go and then I just fucking lost. I just like, oh my god, that was so goddamn funny. Oh fuck. Slight discomfort in and around my mouth for 10 minutes. Been there. Hey, gross. Why?
Because it shouldn't be uncomfortable if it's a female. It would probably only be uncomfortable if it was a male.
Who's
What do you
talking
mean?
about- what?
I thought you were talking about. Oh, I know what you're
I
trying
could
to
have
do.
like burned my lip or something.
I know
you
what you're trying to do right now, and it's not gonna work.
Trying to bait you. Like when I was trying to get Pierre to say cunt for like 20 minutes. He did not want to say that fucking word. I was like, in my head the whole time, I was like, it's not even that bad. Whatever. Fuck it.
Yeah. But yeah, who knows? Maybe we'll have to. Maybe we'll start slower. We'll do like a hot sauce wing type thing one day.
I'd be
and
down for
then-
that, like a hot wing-esque challenge. I was just going to say a hot wing challenge. I remember there's a literal TV show. I'd like to do hot ones thing. That'd be cool.
Yeah.
I'd be down with that.
Yeah, and like, that's like a start leading us into it. I used to eat a lot of spicy food where I'd be more comfortable eating that, but like I'd have to get myself back into it. Like I've been having a very Caucasian diet lately, not filled with too much exotic flavors and spices.
Like, I used to go places and get, like, the suicide wings and shit, but yeah, it's been years since
Exactly.
I
I
did
just
that.
need to give myself a month or two of like eating spicy things just to, it's the same thing as you in soccer. Like I don't want to
Your legs
fucking
are
feel
sore
like
the
death the
next
next day. Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
from sitting on the can.
Yeah. No, honestly, last time that didn't hurt, so it came out fine. It's just the
When I
stomach
eat
area.
red chilies, that destroys my butthole. Like,
Yeah, I've eaten some.
if they go to hot pot, if I put in
the
like,
tiny, like the thin, long ones
that they cut up.
Well,
you know what I
I've
mean?
eaten
Like
whole
those little
ones
red-
at Fats like Body Shop. The real
Oh, yeah,
Asians.
I believe- dude. My ex's dad, the dude from Thailand, he'd literally eat those things like they were Lay's chips, bro. He'd be watching TV and he would just open a bag of them, put them beside him, and just eat them. I had one and I was like, what the fuck? I just thought they were like pepper or whatever. Yeah, man, that shit was a whole nother level.
Yeah.
You guys know what I'm talking about? Saturday Night Live, Chris Rock? No? Okay. Whole nother
That's
level.
sampled on the Kanye West.
Is it
on
Chris
Kanye
Rock or
West
Chris
song.
Tucker? I don't remember.
I think it was Chris Rock. Yeah, that pussy. You stepped it up to a whole nother level. Like
Oh, no. Yeah.
that thing. Is,
Kanye showed me that.
Yeah. Easy
But
taught me.
Easy taught me. Yeah. Way back in the day, though, on like Saturday Night Live, I think it was, or Matt, he has a skit where he just says that shit went to a whole nother level.
Sounds like Cat Williams to me.
Cat Williams. I fuck with that guy. He
Yeah,
was on-
Cat Williams is the realest. Like a clip I seen of him a while ago was like, if nobody killed this guy, then nobody. That's the same nobody that killed MLK or like all that type of shit, right? He was going off on that kind of rant.
Yeah, nobody killed Biggie, nobody killed Pac,
Yeah.
nobody killed MLK, nobody
Yeah,
killed...
exactly. And if nobody killed nobody, then nobody cares.
Nobody cares, yeah. If nobody kills nobody cares. He catches a lot of slack, but I actually think he's a real smart guy. I think he's like a single dad to like 4 or 5 kids or some shit like that. And he was on Mike Tyson's podcast a little while ago, Hotboxing.
Nice.
He takes them on the road with him and shit. Like, apparently, don't get me wrong, that motherfucker's wild. And he's been charged with like 13 crimes or some shit. But as he'll say, never found guilty. Never been inside a jail, motherfucker. He's like, they'll hold me there, but I never been convicted. Hey, man, that means something, though, bro. If they can throw all the fucking charges at you they want, if they don't fucking convict you, I'm fucking innocent in the eyes of the law, motherfucker.
All right then.
One more thing before we get to questions and would you rather. You guys watch the fucking Hatchet Man thing on Netflix?
Yeah, actually, I didn't I finished it now. Yeah, he went to Bosco Homes.
Didn't we talk about this
I
a
went
little bit
to high
last
school
week?
with a guy whose
I think
brother
last
was
week
in
we
there.
talked that I was waiting to watch the
Oh, okay.
Netflix show.
But it's
Kai.
with Kai, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Not Kai Senate.
Oh wait, did we watch it by the time I was here? Because it says Edmonton, and then
Yeah, you
go-
telling us about that last
Oh
week.
fuck! Okay, we did do it already. Then my bad.
No, it's good shit though. I've watched
You
it
now
now.
watched
I
it
mean,
now?
I
Yeah.
followed up the story back in the day. Like
Yeah, I
I knew
remember,
about
yeah.
it, but like, yeah, it was a
Were
good.
you
Well
ever in
done.
Full Paper? The Facebook group Full Paper?
No, you've sent me like clips from there, but I've never or like screen recordings, but I'm not part of it.
Back when it happened, we knew he was from Edmonton as soon as that clip went viral because of Full Paper. Someone was like, "Yo, I remember that guy." Fucking blah blah blah.
Oh, he's
blah,
wild, man. Bosco Homes is like the homes for troubled teens. That's where he was in the Edmonton area, which I think is actually out in Strathcona County, out in the middle of nowhere. And
I've
I,
never
like I
heard
said, I
of
went
this.
to high school with a kid whose brother was in there, and like Man, kids have
Bosco
escaped.
Homes?
I think it's
It's out by
Bosco.
our Dawson where I went to
Yeah,
high
exactly.
school.
It's on account. Yeah, exactly. Kids have escaped from there and killed people in like this area and shit like that. Like it's not uncommon for people from there to be like
True story.
to be fucked up.
Zach was there.
Well, Zach lived out there, man. He could have been a victim, dog.
It only happened one time. It was by the Tempo gas station where
Yeah,
where I
they
worked
came
at.
and they killed those people because they wanted their car and to get further.
To get the fuck out.
Yeah, like yeah. So like he could have been, you know.
How much you want to bet?
Can't kill a
You'll
man with no
never die.
face, you know. He's faceless, right? Never been on camera,
Yeah,
so
no face, no case.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, if anyone beefs with our podcast, Zach's the one who's gonna go assassinate him because they'll never see it coming. Walk up to him in broad daylight, they won't even know. Pew pew, and he's gone. Fucking silencer.
Just can't say nothing because his voice will give him
His
away.
voice could give him away. Yeah. You got anything for us over there, Zachary?
Yeah, I have a would you rather, and I also have a kind of a cool little story factoid thing. So we'll do the would you rather first. Would you rather have to pee a ping pong ball or poop a bowling ball? And keep in mind, there's two different types of bowling balls, right? There's the little 5 pins and the 10 pins. So I'll give you either or.
Okay, I'll poop the European bowling ball, like the smaller one, like the little like doesn't have any holes in it at all. You just fucking chuck the bitch down the lane. That's reasonable. Like I feel like that's like watching One Man One Jar. Like I feel like that's doable without dying. Dog, a ping pong ball out your fucking dick, like bro, your reason's gonna be destroyed.
I've had kidney stones, so yeah, it's not fun.
You've had kidney
No,
stones?
but
Yeah,
not
but
ping
mine,
pong size.
no, but mine had to get surgically removed. I didn't pass it, but they did have to remove a stent from my body after the surgery, which meant me going in and putting my legs in those pregnancy stirrups and then shoving a tube up my Johnson, all the way up to my bladder and pulling it out.
I've got a question.
True story.
Some people like that's a thing. Some people shove shit up there. That's like their thing. I'm fully aware. I was gonna ask you, what do y'all think about that? Like who had that idea? It's like, you know what? Let's stick some shit down here and see how that feels.
I've never told you guys the story about.
No.
No. It's nothing like that.
Okay.
I've never told you guys the 2 kids, 1 sandbox story.
What? No.
One summer, I'm working for Clark Builders. It's a construction company here in Edmonton. I'm part of like the college crew. You know, there's probably like 5 of us, 6 of us that are just there for the college summer. Everyone knows we're just there for summer. We're fucking grunts. There was one kid that was like a son of a dude who worked for like, I don't know, John Deere or Fastenal or one of those fucking companies. They just hooked his son up with a job. This kid's probably one of the smartest kids I've ever fucked. I mean, that being said, I never fact checked him. I just took him for fucking. Yeah. Apparently, he had like a 4.0 GPA and fucking on the dean's list at the U of A. He was going to be like some crazy engineer. We're outside one day picking garbage. It's like 30 something degrees. I'm fucking dying. This kid just starts laughing. I'm like, "What's up?" He's like, I just figured out in my head what the formula would be if you're in a hot air balloon. The more meters you go directly up off the ground, the more of the Earth's curvature you can see. I was like, bro, we're out here picking garbage on fucking my 30 degrees, and that's what you're thinking about? And he was like, yeah. Like, all right, dude, cool. One day we're all in the lunchroom. It's like all these degenerate ass, like, and I mean degenerates, man. These boys were wild. The stories that they would tell on the weekends, drinking, drugs, bitches, fucking everything. And then we're all talking about 2 girls, 1 cup, and like that was like a big thing. That's when this shit had just come out. So whatever, 10 years ago or whatever it was. No pun intended. No pun intended. The shit had just come out. No pun intended. I didn't even think about that when I said that. That's hilarious. This kid literally looked like Harry Potter, except he had blonde hair. There's like this very nerdy little quiet white kid. He's like, oh, none of you guys have ever seen 2 kids, 1 sandbox? We're all like, what the fuck is 2 kids, 1 sandbox? A guy pulled out like a BlackBerry Pearl. You guys remember that? The little roller in the middle, so the internet connection's even shit. There's about 20, 25 sweaty fucking construction dudes in this lunch trailer huddled around this phone. You know what? Fuck it. Let's do our first reaction video right now. Type in 2 kids, 1 sandbox. Type in 2 kids.
I don't want
sandbox.
that on my laptop.
Fucking pussy.
I'll get added to. I gotta travel soon. I'll be added to a no-fly list.
What is it? 3 guys, 1 hammer? That's the reaction video you want to see.
Wait, are you on my Wi-Fi? Because it'll still show up on my.
Yeah,
FBI open.
I'll just say it was Fred and I have a
oh
witness.
man, it's only a bunch of fucking reaction videos. How can I find it?
Bro, that's like
Why don't we?
on pages that don't exist anymore. Man, Live Leak doesn't even exist.
Why don't we
anymore,
save it
dog.
for next
Like,
time and then we can use it as a
Reddit, let's go.
There we
Oh,
go.
fuck.
Yeah, it's gonna be there or 4chan or something shit like that.
Fuck, the link got deleted.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, because it's that
So-
Live Leak and shit's no longer around.
I'll make you a deal because the camera is an issue now. So I'll make you a deal. Find the link and we'll do the reaction video here on my TV next week. If you can find the link. How's that sound? Deal?
This one might be loading.
Fuck, I thought I was negotiating my way out of it like a Jedi.
Well, I have to finish what it is for this story now. So if we can't fucking, yeah, whatever. What it is a scene from a porno movie where a guy is laying on his back, and a girl has. It almost looks like a candle. Like it's probably like the width of, I don't know, man, like a dime maybe, and it probably looks like it's like this big, and it looks like it's like a wax candle. And this woman is like viciously like dildo fucking this guy's urethra with this thing. So all of us construction dudes are like sitting around this thing, and this comes up and it all plays, and this fucking kid's like behind the camera. We're all like facing him, and he's just sitting there eating his lunch with like this like twisted fucking smirk on his face, and we're all like, oh, and then like the one guy holding the phone was just like looked at him, and I remember I can't remember exactly what he said, but he was just like, bro, what the fuck is wrong with you? And like we're saying that like we're fucking what the fuck is wrong with you? And he's just sitting there like eating his peanut butter and jam. It was wild, but yeah.
Hey man, the
Two
IB
kids, one
kids,
sandbox.
the IB kids and
I never
got
watched
into
the.
wild shit.
I know the one that you were referring to, the butt one. The what was it, the jar?
The
and it
one man,
breaks
one
or
jar,
whatever?
yeah.
I've never seen that one. I've
What?
only heard about that one.
Bro, these are what, you never watched like Mexican cartel beheadings or
I have,
ISIS
yeah.
executions
yeah,
or like
the ISIS executions in
3
junior
guys,
high,
1
I remember
hammer.
those. Yeah, where like the guy gets stabbed, the
screwdriver?
screwdriver and fucking beat with a hammer. Yeah, I've seen that. I saw that.
buddy,
Fuck,
best
dude,
gore
I had
back in the day,
literally
dog.
completely forgotten about that until you just said that.
The trauma hitting far away in a compartment, bringing it all back.
God. Dude, I can like see it in my head again now, kind of like I had completely forgotten about that. 3 guys, 1 hammer, and then yeah, they dap him up with a screwdriver.
PTSD brought to you by 3 guys, 1 hammer.
I did kind of have some PTSD on this Regina trip. I know we got to wrap up. I was cruising, and like honestly, it was probably like a skunk. It was bigger than a rabbit, but it wasn't as big as like a fox or a coyote or anything. So I think it might have been like a skunk or a.
Wolverine.
Honestly, maybe. I don't know if those are
What
in
are the-
Regina.
What
What are
about
the-
a chupacabra?
Or what are the fucking...
How big are Wolverines?
They're like a badger. They're like a Canadian version
Yeah, I
of a
would say it
badger.
was about like the size of a badger. It just ran across the highway, but after fucking smashing that deer, I was like, wait a minute, I would have fucking destroyed that thing. Fuck that thing.
Well, it depends on how icy it is. That might throw you off balance. And
Well,
put
I
you in a
wasn't
ditch. You'd be
touching my brake.
surprised,
Oh
dog.
yeah, it could have made you.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, there's no way I was touching my brake for that thing. Fuck that thing.
Yeah. When the weather is wild, you gotta watch out, man. The slightest thing will fuck you.
Facts.
Yeah. You got anything else to wrap it up? Any other crazy, insane, would you rather's or questions or
Oh
facts?
yeah,
or...
I unfortunately I would pick the shit one too because I have family members. I think like my aunts and stuff and a couple of my uncles. Apparently, kidney stones passing one of those things is like one of the most unbearable fucking pains in the history of pains. And the kidney stones are literally like
They're like little rocks with
They're like lava rocks.
barnacles
Sharp
sticking off
fucking-
them.
Yeah.
but they're tiny. Like they're very small.
Mine was the
Well, it
reason
depends.
mine had to
Some
get
can be big.
removed
You have to
is because
get
it was too big.
too big to get
pass.
past. Yeah, but the ones that can pass are pretty.
Did you have surgery that required you to be cut open, or did you have the like ultras, like the?
They blew it up with the little laser. They go in there with the laser and just zap it up, and then that's why they had to put the stent in there between my kidney and my bladder to make sure that if there's any remaining little bits of it, it would evacuate
Come on.
out.
Okay, cool. Because yeah, like I know there's like this waves technology, like like sound waves
they said it
essentially
was
to
a-
break it down with. Yeah, so where you don't need to have any sort of like cutting or any sort of like surgical intervention like that. It's just like a big. That's not bad.
Hold on.
How old were you when you got that?
Proportionately, like scale. What do you think the scale, like the ratio scale is from like the average sized kidney stone to a ping pong ball to like the average sized dick to the smallest bowling ball? Like
You mean
I feel like
asshole?
the
What do you mean,
anal thing is like a lot
Yeah.
more fucking no, like doable.
That's what I
Like-
said. Like if it's a European like bowling ball, which is like
Not too much bigger than a bocce ball.
not
right?
much bigger than like a softball. Yeah, it's like a little bit bigger than a softball. That's much more. I'd much rather do that.
I can feasibly imagine in
Then-
my head that happening more than a fucking.
There's people that sit
Just
on
dude,
toys
like,
that are bigger than that
That's
for
what I'm
pleasure.
saying. Somewhere on the internet, I've seen somebody take a fucking something like that somewhere. Not saying it'd be enjoyable for me, and I'm sure you had to work up to that, and you're probably going to be wearing diapers for the vast majority of your adult life, and that's on you. But I remember seeing a kidney stone and how fucking small it was, and the person who showed it to me was like, "Dude, this shit's like unbearably painful." Yeah, I see how small it is. It's like like level 10 excruciating pain. So that scaled to a ping pong, like fuck that, man.
Not only that, but like when they removed the stent, they had to wait there, and I wasn't allowed to leave until I peed. And the next 3 days of peeing were just so terrible, just from like the corrosion or whatever you want to call it, the abrasiveness of it going through was so painful. So
I've actually thought that before. Like I've never. What's
it's like
it called?
a
When
stent. It's a little. The thing they pulled out looks like a small, like one of the air balloons they use for kids.
Yeah.
It looked like about this big, and they had to yank it around.
What's the process they call putting a catheter?
Yeah, that I've had that as well when I broke my femur.
That's when you're.
That's when
like-
you put it in your pee.
Oh, those are two separate things.
Yeah, big
I thought
time.
you were just saying the same
Bro,
thing.
a stint is just like something to prop up like
It's a
a
tunnel.
tunnel.
It's a tunnel
so you have it
between
for
my
your
organs.
heart or your blood vessels or like.
So to remove it, they had to snake something all the way into my body up to there to grab it and then pull it out.
You're just like inserting a pipe inside your natural like tunnel to hold up the walls.
So getting the
essentially.
one that broke your leg, like the one just up there for you to piss when you're like put under or whatever, getting pulled out was still probably pretty shitty.
Yes, because
Yeah.
they inflate a little balloon inside to keep it from coming out. Then they have to deflate it, and they're still like the end of it's like at the end of a straw, and it's up there sizably enough all the way up your dinkus. So
Now imagine that candle and what that damage was
Yeah.
doing. Like
Well,
that's,
that guy's a whole nother level.
And
I know, but
also-
how do people get to that level? Like how? Where?
I don't know,
What
the human body's
psychological?
amazing.
Yeah, bro, I don't get it, dog.
But so that the stint was like 10 times worse. Because I even thought I kind of thought it was the same thing. Now that you're saying it, it's like yeah, okay, I know
the stent
stints were
was
hard,
worse
like, I
because it
should've
was
thought about that.
a little bit more traumatic. Because when they put the catheter in, I'm obviously freaking I'm out. But when they take it out, I'm awake because I'm leaving the hospital. But when they take the stent out, I just get called in a week after my surgery, and I just go sit in a chair, and the lady comes in and just grabs my thing, stuck a tube up there.
They don't
and
even give you painkillers.
No, and
What
then
the fuck?
they give you the little wet wipes to freeze your around, like you know what I mean? That's like the,
Yeah, like you're getting
Yeah.
a needle.
yeah, like yes. And then how's she gonna get a painkiller all the way up there, right? It's just the only painful part is your actual dink. Once
Dog, put it in my fucking main vein. What do you
then
mean?
because then you can't drive
That's
for a
full
while,
sedation.
and
Yeah,
it's
you
a
can't
full.
do that. That's more way more
Unfortunately,
dangerous.
that's
You could
not the
die.
I'll get dropped off and picked up.
That's not the option I have.
Wait,
Unfortunately,
what's that? I'm not there yet, but you're in your 30s now. Have you ever
33? Yeah, 33.
Yeah, have you ever had a
prostate exam?
no prostate is at the rear, but like where's that one where they shove that the
Col-
shove
colonoscopy?
I've never had anything go down my fucking dick hole.
What was that?
I haven't had a prostate exam either yet. I think you got away. Like I'm looking forward to, but I think you're supposed to go at 40. I haven't.
something like
But
that.
I see a doctor regularly, and he's never told me to get my prostate checked or anything yet. So
I thought Asha checked that for you on the daily.
wow, that's different.
Gross.
That's not an exam. That's a fucking.
But she would notice if there was
It's an oil change.
abnormally.
I'm just kidding.
She,
Fuck, I was gonna say something. Yeah, I can't even imagine that. That'd be so fucking painful. And no, I would take. You're telling me, you guys both aware of my fucked up big toe and how fucked up the nail is on it? Like you guys both
Yeah.
fully aware? You've never seen it?
No, I don't want to see it either.
It's not that bad. It's just fucked.
you've had ingrown nail on the same toe many a time.
20 years.
Yeah.
Zach, you know how your toenails from left to right have probably like 5 millimeters of separation between them? Mine
Yeah.
has like my left and right toenail, like the edges are like
Oh,
Like,
so you have no toenail?
no, it's like a fucking U. It's like a horseshoe kind of.
That's fucking.
It's real fucked up. And it got ingrown lots of times to the point where it even like sucks to walk and shit. So you're telling me that they give me more numbing and painkillers to remove?
What'd you get? 4 needles in your toe?
2.
2. I got 4.
And
Not to mention, do you think I want to have a needle stuck in my dink? It's like half of one, 6 of dozen of the other.
no, I'd take the needle.
They wouldn't give it to me intravenously because that's a lot more in depth. They'd have to do a local anesthetic, and that means either with the cloth shit, the little wipes that they gave me, or actually sticking a needle like a dentist into my actual dink and then putting an agent in there.
I would take that.
Well, I was kind of just there, and I was
Yeah,
already,
I know they didn't
I
give
was
you the
butt
option.
naked. She could see everything, and I was like, just fucking do it. It wasn't fun.
Dog. How old were you?
That was when I was like 24, 25.
Jesus.
That Wendy's will get to you after a while. Too much Wendy's is not good.
That's what you think gave you a kidney stone?
No, I just had a pretty unhealthy diet that way because I just kind of...
If you stay hydrated, you're pretty much good. Even if you have an unhealthy diet, as long as you keep
I just ate a lot of
water in
junk
you,
food. It was the first few years I was
buddy,
away.
it's my diet every day, but like I ain't got no kidney stones yet. Fingers crossed.
Yeah,
You
but
want none of that?
I got gout.
you might be genetically more advanced than I am.
It's
I
all
got- we all
those
got our
Aryan
own
race
shit,
genes.
just
You know?
usually different shit. Like I
Mhm.
said, I got gout. Gout sucks.
Yeah, that doesn't sound fun.
Well, that was, that was one of the most. The major flare up that I had the one day is probably one of the most painful things that I've experienced, which is wild because there's no like when I hit my head on the Eiffel Tower or whatever. Like if you get knocked out and like I had like a fucking 4-inch fucking gash on the fucking forehead. Maybe not 4, maybe 2 or 3, but that didn't really hurt because like you wake up and you're just like all fucking woozy because you got I mean it hurt, but like I don't know, man. Walking with gout fucking sucks, dude. Like
I
from
bet.
here to my car, probably like a half hour, and I'm parked literally right outside your building. That's like a fucking 30-second walk. Half an hour is probably an exaggeration, but like I'd literally like almost ask one of you to like a soccer injury, like let me put my arm around you as we fucking walk, right?
What kind of pain did those kidney stones give you? Like getting those out? Was it like burning? Is it
How'd you know?
Stabbing? Is it like
How did I know? I knew it was a couple years leading up. I just kept getting I had a big pain in the back here all the time in my back, and it wasn't like a muscle pain. It was just like a deep like a dull deep pain that I couldn't really describe. So I went to the doctors, got an ultrasound, and then got an X-ray done, and they can see the calcium deposit in there, and then booked the surgery. It was like 6 months later, and I was just in and out.
It's wild that kidney stones and gout are almost the same thing. I'm pretty sure gout's just calcium crystallizing or whatever in the joints of my feet,
Yeah.
where yours just crystallized in the kidney. That's crazy.
But yours is probably just happenstance, situational, whereas mine was, the doctor did say it was probably, because they do blood work, right? So they could see all my stuff. So he said it was an unhealthy diet.
it's not Is it No, because isn't it a certain acid?
think so.
Because why would red meat give you gout? Then red meat is not filled with
I mean,
calcium.
I could be.
That'd
I thought that's
drinking
what
milk
someone
would be,
told me.
like,
Yeah, because it's supposed to be
fucking you up.
beer and red meat. No, I think it's some sort of acid, but
Yeah.
that's what it.
Uric
acid.
acid.
Uric acid, but then there's always a picture that I see where there's like something in the joint.
It says uric acid crystals.
Yeah, it
Oh,
just
okay, my bad.
almost any chemical crystallizes, dog.
Oh,
Like,
my
it's-
bad. I just had the wrong thing then. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, okay, then that's not as crazy as I thought, and they're damn near completely different things.
Well, it's a buildup of something where
Yeah.
it's too much of that one thing in that one area. Because calcium in your bladder is normal, in your kidneys normal, I'm sure, but just not too
Well, it's
much of
supposed
it.
to
Well, too much of it
evacuate.
when it's too much, a higher concentration, it probably crystallizes, right? So you probably had a lot.
Well, the first time it happened, who was it? Corday, I think, was at. Yeah, it was because I was gonna say Anderson Paak, but I knew it wasn't him. I think it was Corday because they had the big song together
Union?
at the time,
Yeah.
and I was working at the dealership and the jewelry store at the same time, so it was right in that time. And I remember I went out, and TJ was with me. I wonder if he remembers the night. I went out with the jewelry company, but I had to work the next morning, and Josh and I were doing like those switching shifts. So we were at the club or whatever, and I just remember telling TJ, like, earlier in the day at work, I was like, fuck, man, my fucking foot kind of hurts. Like, I don't know, this is weird. Then throughout the evening, I was like, fuck, man, my fucking foot hurts. My fucking foot hurts. Then we left Union Hall and we went to Baiju downtown because our buddy was DJing there. And I was there for like a half an hour, and I was like, dude, I have to go, man. Like, I don't know, man, something's wrong. And he was like, are you going to be okay? And I was like, oh, I don't know, man, this is fucked up. And like, I parked at the end of the street, so I probably had to walk, like, I don't know, man, maybe the length of a football field to my car. And I remember when I got in my car, I was literally like panting. I sat there for like minutes trying to relax. And right then and there at like 1 o'clock in the morning or something, 12 o'clock, I had to text Josh and be like, dude, you have to go into work tomorrow. And then I remember him replying, like, aren't you at a club right now? Like, did you just get too drunk? Like, nah, man. Like, I was like, nah, dude, I gotta go to the fucking hospital tomorrow. Like, I'm fucked up. And he was like, all right, dude, like, whatever, let me know. And then, yeah, I remember Phil wasn't even mad because, show to work. You owe some people some fucking explanations. Yeah. And I walked in and I was like, yeah, man, like, here's my doctor note. I have gout. He didn't even read the note. He was like, yeah, my father-in-law has gout, man. You want the day off? Like, I was like, nah, I'm just going to wear sneakers. We had to wear dress shoes. I was like, I'm just going to wear sneakers. He's like, yeah, man, it's cool. No problem. Like, he didn't even... Gout fucking sucks.
I bet.
Big time. But, whatever. It could be worse, right? I could have fucking cancer. Right? So...
Or mouth gout.
Is that a thing?
I don't think so, but I'd rather have it on my foot, I think, than my face.
I'm sure it's possible in every joint, but it probably builds up down there because that's the lowest point in your body, right?
The two major attacks that I had, one, I don't remember which foot it was, but one time it was right in the big toe joint, and then the other time it was like kind of like near my Achilles heel, like in my ankle.
On the back.
The toe was worse.
Well, because, yeah.
The toe was way worse.
I bet, but
and that was the first time, so the second time I kind of like...
You kind of knew what to expect.
Saw it coming and reached out to my doctor. Yeah, that first time, though, because I didn't know I was out, so we probably even, like, went to a steakhouse that night. I probably had a beer or two, like... yeah.
Making it worse.
Yeah, like, just fueling the fucking fire, because I'm a terrible fucking person to my own body. Anything else you guys want to discuss real quick? Going once? Going twice? Join us next week, same bad time, same bad channel.
Make sure to rate, like, subscribe, share, ask us questions, put stuff in the comments, do whatever you need to do.
Tell us what we should review, because we're going to start doing that.
Yeah, we might start reacting to some stuff, so send us some clips, preferably not 3 guys, 1 hammer, or 2 guys, 1 sandbox.
Two kids, 1 sandbox, 2 girls, 1 cup. We don't need to see any of that. That part of our life is over.
Whatever, we'll have producer Zach screen it all anyways beforehand, so we'll traumatize
unless you guys send it to us, then we'll watch it anyway. Alright, that's been another episode of 7 Days Makes 1 Week. Peace.